So today I'm doing something totally random and different, and I was not planning this at all. As you can see, I like literally just walked in the door and I'm wearing my winter garb because it's like negative 500 out. If you can see out my window right there, there's snow, actual snow happening outside right now. And I still have my Halloween decorations up, so what's up? Clearly don't have my life together anywhere happening around here, but I did just walk in the door from doing some Thanksgiving meal shopping, which is my favorite meal of the entire year. So I like to plan ahead and shop when there's still a large selection. I obviously don't get any of my fresh foods. Like I like to do Brussels sprouts and if I'm doing a salad or any fresh fruits and vegetables or herbs or whatever. I don't get any of that stuff until obviously the week of Thanksgiving. Every year I do a mainly vegan, mainly gluten-free Thanksgiving. I'll tell you why it's mainly here in a bit. But I've been doing that for several years, so even though I'm not 100% vegan anymore, I still really like to do a mostly vegan, like I said, with the exception of some eggs, which I'll talk about in a second. So I thought I would show you, especially if you're vegan, gluten-free, one or the other or both, what has worked for me, what I really like, and like my staples every single year. And although this isn't everything, obviously, this is a lot of the stuff that's frozen or that you can kind of prep or keep in the fridge ahead of time. So that being said, I figured I would do a little grocery haul. Is that a thing? I think it is a thing, but I've never done one before. So let's just get into it. All right, so the first item, since this needs to go in the freezer like now, I got some gluten-free bread for my stuffing, for my Thanksgiving stuffing. I found this recipe online. I will post it in the description box. It is this, it's like a jalapeno, cranberry, shiitake mushroom stuffing. It is unbelievable. Seriously, anytime I serve it or make it, I get tons of compliments on it. And I found it online on a website, so I will link that down in the description. Even if you're not gluten-free, even if you're not vegan, you have to check out this recipe because let's say you're not gluten-free, you can use real bread, you know what I mean, like classic bread instead of gluten-free bread. If you want to add meat to it, you can add meat to it. It's whatever you do. For the stuffing, I use this bread. I know they have gluten-free stuffing cubes out there. They have all these new fancy gluten-free things. But let me tell you, this bread, it has no egg, first of all. A lot of gluten-free breads have egg in it. So if you are vegan and gluten-free, try out this bread. It is very dense. It is very kind of stiff. So it's not the best sandwich bread. But let me tell you, a dense bread is perfect for stuffing because it will absorb all the liquid and the flavors and all the goodness. It is so good. So what I do is I toast the bread. I just put a bunch of them on pans and put them in the oven and toast them up. And then I cut them into cubes, let them dry overnight so they're even crispier and drier the next day and stale. And then I follow whatever directions are in that recipe for the shiitake mushroom stuffing. It is literally the best thing ever. So anyways, I got 2 loaves because I think I'm gonna make 2 stuffings this year. Totally going overboard. It's just me and my husband this year. We are not doing anything with family. So this is maybe a little overboard, but what can you do? All right, so next up, since these need to also go in the freezer, I got 2 different types of fake turkey. The thing about most fake meats, if you're gluten-free, is a lot of the fake meats are made with a wheat protein. Since I cannot have wheat, I can't have a lot of the fake meats, so it's really difficult, but there is one that I found. I get 1 tofurkey for my husband and 1 tofurkey for me because although the gluten-free one is fine, it's not as fancy as the one with the wheat protein. The first one I got is the Gardein Holiday Roast. This one has the kind of crusted outside and then the inside has all this stuffing. And my husband seems to really like this one. It has vegetables, looks like some dried cranberries in there, wild rice, kale, all different sorts of stuff in there. But my husband said that the Gardein is the best. He's tried the field roast, he's tried the tofurkey, and he's tried the Gardein and he prefers the Gardein. So that's what I got him. The fake turkey I got is this Quorn brand, Quorn. It is meatless, soy, and gluten-free. And it is just a fake turkey roast. This one looks like a sausage almost, like casing. And you poke some holes in it and you put it in the oven and then it's done. And then you kind of slice it. It kind of reminds me of cafeteria style turkey, if that makes sense. It's more of like the perfectly round kind of sliced I don't know, you can see a picture of it here. It looks, I don't know, maybe the light's too bright, but it tastes great. My husband even likes it. There is a little bit of an eggy taste. I can taste the egg in it because it contains egg and milk, by the way. So if you are vegan, this one's probably not an option or is not an option for you. But if you are gluten-free, your options are pretty limited unless you guys know of a fake turkey that's gluten-free and vegan. That's not just tofu. I don't really know of one, but I get this one every year and I like it. It's good. It kind of just, it tastes kind of like turkey. Not really like turkey. It just tastes, it works. I like it just fine. I might have to close this because I think this is making it too bright. Yeah, it is. Okay, I should take this off, but I'm not fussing with it. So the next thing I got was this So Delicious dairy-free whipped topping. Let me tell you, this stuff, even if you're not vegan, first of all, it's a coconut milk whipped cream, which one year I made it from scratch. I made my own vanilla bean, coconut milk, whipped cream to put on top of pumpkin pie. And let me tell you, it was so freaking good, but it kind of took some time and it has to be really fresh. So to be honest with you, after I'm eating a meal and I am so full and I just want to nap, the last thing I want to do is make some whipped topping. So for the last couple of years, I've been buying it. And let me tell you, even when it's not Thanksgiving, I will pick this up and eat it with strawberries or fruit in general, or it's so good. This whipped topping, it's like that coconut flavor comes through a little bit. It is so good. It is so good, this stuff. Like I could eat this by the spoonful. Like I'm not gonna lie, I maybe have done that before, where I literally just like scoop it. This coconut whipped cream is to die for. It is so good. So I need to put this in the freezer like now because it feels like thawed. I don't know if I mentioned what I'm putting that on top of, but I'm gonna be putting it on top of pumpkin pie. I feel like that's kind of obvious, but I usually do two different types of pumpkin pie. I do a bourbon pumpkin pie with a crumble, like a gingerbread crumble, and then I do another pumpkin pie that's it's a fake sour cream. It's like a sour cream substitute, and pumpkin swirl pie with a graham cracker crust. So I do two, a gingerbread crust on one and a graham cracker crust on the other. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this meal. All right, next up I got 3 bags of this Daya cheese or Daya. I don't know which one it is and I don't really care because it's delicious. I got 2 of the mozzarella style cheeses and 1 of the cheddar. And these are not a splurge item. I actually use these cheeses almost every single day. I put them on anything from chili to, I don't know, make grilled cheese with them. I've tried all of the cheese alternatives, that's what they're called, or substitutes or whatever you want to call them. And these ones, the Daya cheese, is the one that really gets that ooey gooey kind of melted texture of real cheese. It's terrible raw, in my opinion. I wouldn't recommend eating it raw. Like I don't eat just this on top of tacos, just raw like I would regular cheddar cheese, but it melts beautifully. You can make nachos. I use it in chili. When it kind of melts on top, pizzas. I also use these cheeses in my vegan green bean casserole that I make, and oh, it's so ooey gooey, melty, rich, delicious, everything that cheese should be. All right, next up I got this Tofutti sour cream. This is a sour cream alternative or substitute or whatever you want to call it. So it is non-dairy. It's gluten-free. It is so good. It is so good. Once again, did I say it was called Tofutti? Because that's what it's called. Tofutti, better than sour cream is what it's called. You can get this at Whole Foods, Natural Grocers. Just like the cheese, my husband and I go through this sour cream so fast. It is so good. We use it on baked potatoes. We use it on nachos, like all of the things you would use sour cream on is what we use it for. For Thanksgiving, I'll be using it in my sour cream pumpkin swirl pie. And I'm also going to be making tomorrow a chocolate banana bread that called for sour cream. So that's also why I got it. I got 2 of them. I also use this in my green bean casserole recipe. A lot of cream and mushroom soups not only have dairy in it, but they have gluten in it. I think they make gluten-free ones now, but now I prefer it. So I use this, love these. All right, the next thing I got was this vegan mayonnaise. So I've got a lot of things to say about vegan mayonnaise. I'm apparently a vegan mayonnaise connoisseur. This is kind of the OG vegan mayonnaise, I would say. This is the Follow Your Heart vegan mayonnaise in the original, I think, yeah, original one. They have a bunch of different ones now. I prefer the original one of all of the ones I've tried. I've tried the grapeseed oil one because it's supposed to be healthier or something like that. And it has a funky aftertaste to me. I don't know if everyone can taste it. I know we're all a little different with our taste buds, but this is the best one that I've tried. I also like the Hellmann's vegan mayonnaise that you can get at Target, at least my local Target has it. But what I will say is I like them for two different reasons. So the Hellmann's vegan mayonnaise has more of an original like sandwich mayonnaise kind of taste. It's got more of that kind of sour taste, if that makes sense. So I like that on sandwiches or just anything where you use mayonnaise, I guess. And then this mayonnaise I like better. It's more of like a dressing in my opinion. I love using this for like to make my own ranch, my own vegan ranch. Anyway, so this one is better for dips, dressing, that kind of thing. And I like the Hellmann's one for sandwiches. But that's how I feel about vegan mayonnaise, apparently. I'm like, I have all the opinions going on. But anyways, got this Follow Your Heart veganese. So good. I got the big one. All right, so last refrigerated item is almond milk, silk almond milk. This is not very complicated. I feel like this is pretty widespread at this point. A lot of people drink almond milk. I like the original almond milk over all the others. It has a little bit of sweetness. The unsweetened is just too unsweetened for me, and the sweetened is too sweet, or the vanilla or whatever. So I really prefer the original, especially in coffee. But I also like this milk for sweet baking situations, I guess. So like if a bread, like a banana bread or cookies or cakes call for milk, this gives it a little bit of an extra sweetness, like vanilla flavor that I love. It's not too much, it's not overly sweet, but it gives just a little something. Just a forewarning, if you're playing around with vegan cooking for the first time, do not use this in mashed potatoes. Do not, you can use the unsweetened one in mashed potatoes, but do not use the original or the vanilla flavor. I feel like this might be obvious, but maybe not. In mashed potatoes or in like a savory bread where it calls for it, because it will have a sweet taste to it, and that's pretty much gross. At Natural Grocers, I went to Natural Grocers and Whole Foods. I don't know if I said that, but at Natural Grocers, I got some canned pumpkin because I'm gonna need this for my pumpkin pie. Just canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie mix. I get the regular pumpkin and kind of make my own innards. Also at Whole Foods, I got some nuts. I got some, and seeds. I got some sunflower seeds. These are salted, roasted sunflower seeds. I use these for my Brussels sprouts recipe. That's actually not my recipe. I got it a couple years back on this blog I found. It's a Dijon mustard and vinegar kind of Brussels sprout bake recipe thing with sunflower seeds on top. I will link it in the description box for you because it is so good. If you like Brussels sprouts and you like vinegar and Dijon and like that kind of taste, you're gonna love this recipe. So I'll link it down in the description box. Also got some slivered, I hate that word, slivered almond for this cookie recipe I'm dying to make. A friend of ours made these orange, are they orange? Yeah, it's like an almond cookie, crisp cookie with an orange glaze and these slivered almonds. I love the taste of almond, by the way, but they have slivered almonds on the top. Oh my gosh, it's the best cookie I've ever had in my whole life. And they're gluten-free, and she gave me one of her cookbooks, like one that she had extra of or something, I don't know. She gave me a bunch of cookbooks that she no longer used, and one of them had that recipe in it. Oh God, I cannot wait to make it. And I've been looking everywhere for slivered almonds, and I don't know why I didn't look at Whole Foods because they have that whole seed and nut section. That's amazing. Anyway. All right, I also got this vegetarian better than bouillon, no chicken base. This stuff. So basically this is just a bouillon. If you don't know what bouillon is, it's kind of like a concentrated amount of flavors that you mix with water to create a vegetable stock or chicken stock or whatever you're making, beef stock, whatever. Anyways, this brand has a bunch of different ones. It has a chicken bouillon, a beef bouillon. They even have like a mushroom one, I think, or garlic or something. But this one is my favorite if you are into vegetarian or vegan cooking and you aren't able to get that taste. It's hard to explain it, but like, you know, with chicken noodle soup, like that chicken stock taste, it's not it doesn't taste like chicken, okay? It just tastes like there's a flavor that's missing, in my opinion, in vegetable stock that this has. It's like a very, it's almost like a savory type of taste, but it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't really taste like chicken, but it reminds me of chicken noodle soup broth. Does that make sense? So it tastes like chicken broth, basically. But it doesn't have chicken in it. But you have to make sure you get the no chicken base one, because they have a chicken one and a no chicken one. So you have to make sure if you don't eat meat that you get the no chicken base. This has changed all my soups, any kind of, like even my, what am I thinking of? My stuffing. This changes the flavor. It is so good. It adds a little bit of that savory kind of taste to it that I feel like a lot of vegetable stocks are lacking. This stuff is brilliant. I also got some Bob's Red Mill potato flakes. These are a must-have for all the time. That's why I got 2 bags because I use these for so many things. First of all, I kind of gave up on the whole boiling potatoes and making fresh homemade mashed potatoes. I totally gave up on that like 3 years ago. I actually kind of prefer potato flakes, if that sounds weird. Maybe it's like the elementary school kid inside of me that loved mashed potato and gravy day in the cafeteria. But worth mentioning, this is also a really great gluten-free substitute for items that need to be thickened. Like if you're doing a pot pie or my green bean casserole, instead of using cornstarch, because I just feel like cornstarch takes forever to thicken items. And not only that, cornstarch kind of takes away some of the flavors. So I use potato flakes and it holds that flavor, but it also thickens whatever sauce or soup, casserole, or dip. And this is Bob's Red Mill potato flakes. I prefer these, love them. They come in a big bag. Anyways, moving on. You cannot have turkey or potatoes or anything. You can't have Brussels sprouts. You can't have any Thanksgiving meal, in my opinion, without gravy, the most gravy, all of the gravy. And I want like options, people. I'm looking for brown gravy, I want golden gravy, I want like some different, I want to just like kind of pour them all over the place. I'm a gravy fiend. I live in the Midwest. This is Kansas, people. We are all about gravy on everything, although maybe that's just an American thing or an everybody thing, but here in Kansas, we are for sure about gravy on everything. So my 2 favorite gravies to make for Thanksgiving, and yes, both are necessary. My first one, oh, this gravy is so good. This might be, well, these are both my favorite, but for different reasons. So this one right here, this brand, what's it called? Rhodes and Organics. This little package right here. This is the delicious golden gravy. And this is vegan and gluten-free. And it tastes like, okay, if you live in America, or maybe, I don't know if you live in another country, if your schools had this, but I know for sure in America, in public school cafeterias, around Thanksgiving, near around the 90s, I think they even did this in the 2000s though, and 80s for sure, they had Thanksgiving Day, where you had these like, it looked like turkey slices from just like the deli, you know, just little thin rolled up turkey slices with gravy on it. And then they had mashed potatoes with this golden gravy, and that golden gravy and those mashed potatoes were so, not hard, but they were like, you know, thick. They took a scoop and would just like put them on your plate and they would hold this form. And then they put this golden gravy over the top. And I swear it was the best tasting shit I've ever had. And still to this day as an adult, I kind of dream about that mashed potatoes and gravy situation. I don't know if you guys do. If you know what I'm talking about, give this video a thumbs up or say something in the comments, because if you know that mashed potatoes. And it was also on Chicken Nugget Day. They would have the same mashed potatoes with that golden gravy, and it was all about the gravy. You know, I was taking those chicken nuggets and dunking them in the mashed potatoes and the gravy and just kind of scooping it up and eating it. It was like double points, I feel like, if you ate it like that. So good, so good. Anyways, clearly I still dream about that gravy, and this gravy tastes just like that. Just like that golden, salty, whatever that was. It was like bright yellow. This is not quite bright yellow. This is like a true gold. The school gravy was almost like radioactive, but it was so good. Okay, so this one tastes like that though. And it's the Rhodes and Organics golden, delicious golden gravy. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. I got this at Natural Grocers. I've seen it around town. Sometimes I see it over at Heyyyyy if you're in the Midwest. All right, my second favorite gravy, and this is actually my husband's favorite gravy because he prefers brown, well, no, he likes the other one too, but he likes a good brown gravy. He likes that kind of savory. He's a savory guy for sure. But either way, we love this vegetarian brown gravy. This one is really good. It's more, has like a little like a soy sauce kind of taste. Like it's more savory, if that makes sense. Like a mushroomy kind of, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but maybe you know what I mean. But this is more of a brown gravy. So if you prefer brown gravies and you're vegetarian and you're also gluten-free, this is a really good one. This one I know you can get at Whole Foods. I got this one at Natural Grocers. I've also seen it at Heyyyyy in the Midwest. And I think I've seen it at Target. I don't know, but this one's really good too. So I make both of them. This brand also sells it's an herb one, like a savory herb or an herb, whatever. It's an herb gravy, and that one's really good too. It is very herby, very herbal, not herby. Herbal makes all the difference, but it is it has like some of that taste to it. When I have people over for Thanksgiving, I make about 3 or 4 different gravies. Just so people, because I know everyone has kind of a preference, and also kind of makes it exciting. Like people get excited to just put like different gravies all over their plate, you know what I mean? And I don't know, just kind of fun to do. If you're hosting, it's super fun. And then I got these little gravy boats from Crate & Barrel, these glass ones, so it was clear, so you could see all the different kinds of gravy. It was kind of cool. Anyway, moving on. So last thing, 5 million years later, I was at Whole Foods, and I spotted my favorite thing ever. If you've been my friend here on YouTube for a while, I mentioned this several years ago. This is like OG Jade the Libra, but I get it every year, and I missed out last year because they sold out. I was at Whole Foods today, and they had put these out, and I usually get these at Target, but they were at Whole Foods, so if you don't see them at Target, go to Whole Foods. They had the Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose cleaner in the scent Orange Clove. This scent, this spray, they have it every year during the holidays, and it is the best scent you'll ever lay your nose on. It is the perfect amount of sweet. It's not like sweet like vanilla. It's sweet like orange, like citrus and clove. So it is the perfect, I feel like this is more of a fall scent than a winter scent for me, but that's why I love it, because I want it to be fall all year round. But I knew I had to get them because these fly off the shelves. They sell out online every single year because the scent is so good. Oh, it's so good. Anyways, that is it for my mainly Thanksgiving meal grocery haul. That is all the things. Do you guys like grocery hauls? Do you want me to do more of these and tell you what I'm cooking? And I don't know, do you like this kind of stuff? If you do, give this video a thumbs up. Say, hey girl, hey, down in the comments box, or just say, hey, I really like this type of video. I want to see more grocery hauls. I'll totally do more because that was kind of fun. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.